nobody is walking around in South Africa with 2 million to buy a nice house in an estate anywhere in South Africa. It's just not true. It's not happening. And I hope you can understand what is 2 million rent, because that will be a lot in your naira. So you can imagine that. I think Nigerians, when you talk with Nigerians, you can understand that they don't understand the scale of wealth, because they live in a place where wealth doesn't exist. If anyone understands how resources work and wealth, you will know that there's no one out there just walking around, a group of people walking around having millions of cash in South Africa to buy houses. That's not how it works. So many Nigerians in South Africa, probably by more than 90%, the ones that are here in South Africa, they don't even have a million. They barely have 100,000. They survive by doing the petty crimes they do, selling powder and stuff, and that money doesn't go far, because they probably selling powder for someone. They just likely to be distributors. They're not like cartels. Nigerians are not cartels. It's not like the powder industry that exists in this world. It's run by Nigerians. They just petty minions who are too desperate to be lewd, to be distributors of global cartels who distribute powder. They're nothing more than that. So they don't make money even with that powder. That's why most of them end up selling powder at the same time scamming as well, and sometimes they marry these poor women and they use them to their accounts to put money in and all that. They don't have accounts, it's true, but they don't carry cash, because in South Africa you're not gonna walk to a person and you carrying millions of money and you give them, and then they're gonna take that money and go to the bank and deposit that 2 million. They're gonna have to justify that money. Where is it from? So there's a high chance that is not happening, because the systems in South Africa don't work like that. So this notion that Nigerians are out there buying houses cash, it's coming from a poor, myopic Nigerian from undeveloped country, and he thinks that's how the systems work in South Africa. It's not. The banking sector in South Africa, it's very, very developed. You will have to do a lot of tricks to trick the banks if you working with cash, like how you say it. We're talking about millions and millions of rand. Most Nigerians are squatting themselves in Sunnyside, Captain Park, your Ville. Can you mute?
Okay, sorry.
Ville and our CBDs in those old apartments, and even with that, they will find out this Nigerian man in 2-bedroom apartment, and it's 20 of them living there because they don't afford rent. They can't afford to live there alone and pay rent. So no, this notion that Nigerians have money, it's not true. They wouldn't be here if they had money. Men with money, they tend to have better countries. They will develop their countries. They'll build infrastructure home. They will invest in their countries, and you will see that they have money by looking at their country. You will see that they have roads, they've got hospitals, they have schools. Even how people dress in that country, you can see that people are eating in that country. If you look at the population of South Africa just in the city on a daily basis, on normal day, just looking how they dress, looking the skin of people, of people, how the skin is. You get close, you look at the texture of their skin, and then you go do the same in Lagos. You can see which people are living in a miserable situation. Just the way people dress in Nigeria, they tend to dress, those clothes they make locally, but you can tell by the quality that this is not like an industrial manufacture. It's just, and look, I'm not trying to make fun of people's situations and the poverty, but I'm just saying, let's wake up and face reality here. We don't live in a movie, so the reality is that's how it is. The economy of Nigeria is very, very poor compared to that of South Africa. For many people, it's obvious. And then football, I had someone, master football. No, with football, Nigeria, it's not touching South Africa in any sense, because historically, I think we achieved the might faster than them in terms of winning the Africa's Nations Cup. Remember, we started to participate after 1994. And within a space of 4 or 5 years, we already won that African Cup of Nations. There's a high chance that we're the fastest African country to win that cup, because just few years of our participation, we won that cup. And then when you look at our teams, currently now, two South African teams, I think it's Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns, they are leading in the Clubs Cup in Africa. No Nigerian team is there, and it's been like that for many years now, decades. So I don't know what people mean when they say Nigerians are good in football, better than us. They don't develop football. Which Nigerian teams do you know? Which Nigerian developing institutions for football do you know? There's none. They depend on exporting their players to be developed by other countries. So they don't have the capacity to produce quality football like us. That's why you don't see it. Their national team is made up of Nigerians from other countries, so they can't take credit for that. We produce our own players. And the first African football team, it's a Peter Marisbeck, formed, I think, in 1984 in KZN, I think. And it still exists to this day. The richest African football team is Mamelodi Sundowns, richer than even Al Ahly. So that alone shows you how. And Mamelodi Sundowns is created and founded by Black South Africans. Chiefs is definitely in top 10 of the wealthiest football clubs in Africa. It's funded and formed by Black South Africans. I think it's the Kaiser Motaung's family. Orlando Pirates is the same. Pirates, even today, it's actually a South African team now. It's owned by the pension funds and the public funds of South Africa. But it was formed by Black South African family, and then it grew so big, and then they sold it to the public. Johannesburg, it's listed in Johannesburg Stock Exchange. It's actually the People's Club. Which Nigerian team is the People's Club? They barely have stock exchange that exists, where they can list their assets and stuff like that. So I don't know why we will talk about football as if Nigerian football is successful than South African football, which is not. Nigerian players will rather play in South Africa than in Nigeria. So you don't see South African football players saying, let me go play for Nigerian league. Most African people know Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates, and Chiefs. They can barely name one team from Nigeria. So even in that regard, we are more successful in sports, in the air sports, than Nigerians. There's few areas where they've made strikes and succeeded more than us, but football is just not one of those. You can say maybe their national team has done a lot than ours, but also it has been existing longer than ours as well, and they depend, again, their national team depend on foreign players. We basically build our own players. So even when you measure that by that, the thing is, African football belongs to the countries that can develop their players. And you can see the investment that we've done on our football is starting to show the results today. We're gonna keep growing. Our clubs are already dominating, so it's gonna keep happening like that. It's just a matter of time. Obviously, music, I won't even mention. I said that before many times. We dominate them in music to a point where their music sound changes depending on what music trends in South Africa. If it's Afro sound, Afro house trending in South Africa, Afro beats will sound like Afro house. If it's Amapiano, Afro beats will sound like Amapiano. If it's Tom or Gom, Afro beats will have to sound like Gom. So there's never been a point where South African music changed trying to accommodate Nigerian music, because their music is not of an effect to our industry. It's not relevant. But our music is relevant to theirs. Our lifestyle is relevant to theirs. That's why they always copy our dancing culture. They copy our Panzula dress codes, the lifestyle of Soweto, our townships. They always mimic it in their music videos and stuff. So you can definitely see who's looking up to who here, whose culture influence who. So that alone, in terms of entertainment, even in movie industries, many Nigerian movie producers come to study in South Africa in institutions, because we produce the best drama courses, the movie production courses, the radio production courses, Boston colleges, faculties like in TUT, they are very, very strong in arts and culture, UJ, and many more. So they actually study here. A lot of Nigerian producers, movie producers, they studied in South Africa, just so that they can improve. Because I don't need to tell everyone how bad is the quality of Nollywood movies, So, and even in terms of the movie industry that makes the most revenue, you can't compare. Just go Google the movies that made most revenue in Africa. You will see that it's dominated by South African movies, followed by Egypt, Algeria, and those northern countries. Nigeria doesn't show up. You will see The Gods Must Be Crazy, Tsotsi, Jerusalem, many of our South African production that topped the chart and made millions and millions of US dollars in revenue. So that alone shows you the might, and not forgetting the Oscar awards. South African movies have won the most Oscar awards in Africa. No Nigerian movie has ever won the Oscar awards. And so that alone put the bar in the music industry. South African music industry makes the most revenue in Africa, followed by Egypt. So I never understood when they say their music industry is the biggest in Africa. How is it the biggest? You don't make the highest revenue, and you copy other. You are dominated by South African music industry because you copy us. There is no way you are number one, but you are influenced by others. The people who influence you are the ones who are leading. Hence, you are following them and you are copying them. So that removes you from the claims that you think you are number one. What they do is that they go and beg to host arenas in UK, and that's their measure of success. It's not based on revenue. It's not based on influence and domination. No, it's just based on what they say. If Burna Boy was performing in an arena in UK, that is full of West Africans, by the way. So that's their measure of success. So, and Nigerians are just, but I'm gonna go down. And Jenny touched on Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Let me just say something about this stock exchange. The scale of wealth that is on Johannesburg Stock Exchange, it's not anything to have a conversation with Nigerians around that. It's like an elephant trying to debate with a mouse about stepping in a ring and go to a boxing match. It's just not gonna happen. I mean, Johannesburg Stock Exchange, it's above 1.3 trillion already now. The 1.3 trillion, just know that 1 trillion is probably made up of 1,000 billions. And then when we say 1.3 trillion, that is 300 billion. So I'm trying to give people a scale of what we're talking about. 1.3 trillion. The 3 is 300 billion and the 1 is 1,000 billions. Now, the Nigerian Stock Exchange is just 64 billion. It's not even half of the 300. The 3 on the 1.3 trillion of Johannesburg Stock Exchange, it's 64 billion. Their entire stock exchange, that is all their assets listed on. So what are we talking about? When Jenny said Black South Africans own 39% of Johannesburg Stock Exchange, can you wrap around your head the kind of figure that the assets we're looking at, the amount of wealth? Your stock exchange is already ending at 64 billion US dollars. That's it. That's all you have. Yet Black South Africans own 39% of 1.3 trillion of Johannesburg Stock Exchange. So I don't know when they tell us about wealth, you just need to understand, or these people don't understand what's going on. A lack of education, lack of resources to do research in Nigeria. And the fact that 60 million of them are just mental cases, you have to put all those things into fact, and you'll understand why they're just not gifted in knowledge and knowing these things. But yeah, I'll pack it there.
Maboso, can I ask you a question? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Can you measure your top artists, like 5 best top artists in South Africa? Let me measure Nigerian best artists. I'll tell you their achievements and what they have achieved in Nigeria and what they have in Nigeria. And you tell me what you achieve, like the show and the amount they get paid for show. No one, even your Casper is not even near Not even the video, not even whiskey. I don't even want to
No,
talk
no,
about
fine.
artists.
You're gonna have to. If you're gonna ask me something, I'm gonna respond. Then you can keep going.
Yeah, so I want to know your top best artists and what is their achievement, what is their worth when it comes to runs or whatever how much they're making.
Can I respond to you, my brother? Can I just respond? You'll respond after it, my brother. Can I just respond? Let's make an example. The newest artist that we have, the newest, even she's not even so long time in the worldwide. She have win the best Grammy. Which award did she not win?
Who is that? You're talking about Tyra? Who?
Thank you. Thank you. Amen.
Okay, I would say most of the
I was saying,
Grammy. No, most of African artists are
also, can
Grammy
I
right now.
respond to him? Can I
Guys,
respond?
one by one. One by
I
one.
just give you Tyler. I just give you Tyler.
One by one.
I don't
One
want to
by
give you
one.
black coffee. I don't want to give you black coffee. I don't want to give you coffee.
Wait, Petrot. Me, I will say, even it goes back to what Mabasa was saying. Even those people that they are proud of. Burna Boy was sleeping in AKA's couch here. He was crashing on AKA's couch. So even those people that they are proud about, they are being groomed and coached in other countries. They don't even live there. Davido was like, have been staying in America. He's almost like an American. It's just that their kids can always have their accent. It's not Nigerian artists. They're not Nigerian artists, those guys. But man, like, I don't even want to go to this debate about music. I mean, how can a person celebrate music? Even in that music, how many Grammys Nigeria have?
Can I just speak there?
You need to answer him. And I want to answer you, my brother. The artist that win the most award is Black Mambazo. They have 5 Grammys. More than
Thank God,
80%. Black Mambazo has 5 awards. The majority of Grammys that any musician in Africa. Black Mambazo, Google it.
Sorry, Mama. Let me say what. Let me say thank God. Thank God we don't unalive our top star. We keep them to see them to grow and grow better. We keep them alive. If you start unaliving our top
How are you
people,
gonna unalive them while they are
we
in
can't unalive
America?
them because we love
How
our
are you
people. We
gonna
want to
unalive
see
them?
them
They
be
don't live in
legends.
that
We want to see them be legends in life.
How are you gonna unalive them while
We
they
don't have
don't
that
live in that
mentality.
shithole?
We don't
How
have
are you
that
gonna
mentality.
unalive them? How?
We can't do that.
Can
Don't do
I
that.
just-
We want to see them.
Makoso, can I ask you a
We
question?
want to see them grow
Also,
old and grow old and make more money and make us proud.
Makoso, can I
What
ask you a
is this one
question?
saying now?
Someone
What
asked
is
me
this
a
one
question.
saying?
Can I just
Like, come
respond to the
on.
first
How are
question
you
I
going
was
to
asked?
unalive a person who is in America? How are you going to unalive a person who is in America? Who doesn't even stay in that
Can
shit?
I
Can I
Can
just
I ask
respond to the
Makoso
question I
a
was
question,
asked?
please?
No, man. Can I? I'm not
Can I-
yet responded to the first question I was asked.
You can't ask wait for Mabaso and this person wait for them. It was asking questions to Mabaso. Come on, wait.
So Yayo, I'm sure you do have a successful artist there in Nigeria, the likes of Wizkid, the P Squares, your Tubaba, Burna Boy. These are successful.
Too many.
But allow me to speak, please. These are successful people. Burna Boy is worth around 25 to 30 million US dollars. Davido, similar situation. Wizkid, I think, is around 25 million US dollars. P Square, I don't know. I'm not sure, but they're not that worth much because they lost a lot at some point anyway. Even when they broke up.
Yeah.
But here's the point: all your artists, none of them are richer than Black Coffee. What I will give you is that collectively you have got many Nigerian artists that are currently richer than South African artists. The group that I said, which has went international, they've made more money, like the likes of Casper Nyovest, because Casper Nyovest is local. AKA was coming well because his wealth was above 10 million US dollar, but anyway, we lost him. I think Tyler, she's gonna overtake everyone in Africa, but she's still new. She hasn't made much so far, so we can only speak in terms of the future. But I wouldn't count her. But she has made more success this year, last year, than any artist in Africa. But I wouldn't still count her because I need to be fair. Wizkid is one of the most awarded African artists.
Thank you.
But that's when we base it on total awards. If we talk about the the highest ranking awards in the music industry, South Africa is home to the most Grammy Awards winners in Africa. We won the most awards when Grammys. When you consider all races in South Africa, we are home to more than 45 Grammy Awards. But when you only consider Black South Africans, I think we have about 13 or 14 Grammy Awards. The likes of Black Mambazo, they won 5 Grammy Awards. The Soweto Choir, 3, Black Coffee, an award. The Lady who did Jerusalem, an award. You got Tyler, an award. You got Level M. So our most successful artist, I wanna answer you direct. I'm not gonna count the ones we lost. The living ones currently, Black Coffee, I will put him up there competing with your most stars, but he's even richer than them.
How much?
I will say
what? I don't know about it. What
is around 60 million to 65 million US dollars.
Also on Google there, right? I'll check it out myself later on.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
And then the only richer artist than Black Coffee in Africa, it's Akon and that other Senegal guy. Two artists from Senegal, Akon and this other old guy from Senegal is the richest artist in Africa. I wouldn't count Akon, but anyway, when you check richest artist in Africa,
I think it's Akon that guy.
Yeah, and then Black Coffee, I'll put him as and last year he won the best DJ award in the world. So I think that's the only African who has ever reached that mile in terms of that specific award. And then I think I'll put who else? I'll put Black Coffee, and I wouldn't put Nasty C there, man. He didn't break out of Africa, but I think he's a good artist. In terms of being artist, I don't think there's any artist in Nigeria at the moment that I can actually put with Nasty C. You're gonna have to be honest.
A lot. I'm telling you, there are a lot of artists. Even Omale has done a lot of good job.
No, he's successful, but
we don't care about that. The fact that you have to tell us their name, we don't care. They are not that big. They're useless. The fact that you have to name them for us to know, we don't know them.
Wait, Matt. If we talk about music and the quality and success itself, I don't think there's any artist in Nigeria who's better than Nasty C. I'm gonna have to argue that.
He's a rapper. He's a rapper. He's not a singer, you know.
No, you can see Nasty C sings.
More rapping, more hip hop.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah.
So but so I'll put Black Coffee currently in terms of success. I'll put.
Can I ask you, Black?
Remember, MI was the best rapper in Africa. MI, remember that before Shakodi.
Wait. MI is not better than Nasty C.
He was better. He was the best artist back then, best rapper in Africa before Shakodi, then Nasty C.
No, it's not true.
That is true. Anyway, MI has been the best.
No, nobody will pick MI above Nasty C.
No, Nasty C. Remember, it's a newborn. It's a newborn. I'm talking about them back in the days.
No. You can't put MI.
It was not even better than people like Proverb. Even in those times,
you can't put him above Proverb. Yeah, so you're not making
this guy. By the way, this whole music shifted topic for me. I mean, it's not even a thing because, like, with Grammys, I mean, like.
Wait, Master. I'll put Tyler ahead of your. She's the most successful African artist now. She's ahead of everyone.
More than Tiwa Savage. What are you saying? More than Tiwa Savage in Africa.
Are you joking now? Are you?
I'll leave all this nonsense, all this shit here. Don't come and brag with bank accounts. You can never compare yourself with South Africa. You've been here 10 years. You must say thank you for South African people. We host you for 10 years that you can be living nice because you found South Africa better than where you were. Then you will come and don't give us our flowers. Stop it.
Yeah. So nobody.
Yeah, my boss wanted to add. Wait, Baba. My boss, go forward. We were giving it a chance, but it is, go. Yeah.